Not sure. What runs? And then there isn't. No, I can look at the PowerPoint. You should have done this. Yeah. Yeah. No, we're just taking it. Okay, you can. Yeah. Okay. So you add them to the stream like this. Okay, we all done. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay, that's it. That's it. Okay. Good. Fine.
You can do it.
No. It's too late.
I don't know what
I'm being late.
you
It's 1 minute to go.
1 minute. Do me a favor. I'm ready to do it. All right.
First video is already here.
The first video we will start with the first video.
Do you add the 2 slides?
Yes, it's in the way. Okay, we are about to start. Just a message to you and Web TV. So, microphone was good.
Mic is muted.
Now you can.
Fellow colleagues, esteemed representatives of the member states, and the greater Glocha universe of change makers. It is with great pleasure that we gather here today on the 2026 edition of International Youth Day as part of the Good Life for All campaign. My name is Nana Jain, and I'm joined by my colleague Jose Negrete. Before I begin, I want to briefly introduce myself. I am of Indian descent, and over the past 8 years, I have worked across numerous grassroots initiatives across the globe, building locally rooted but globally connected environmental resilience and social justice movements. Much of my work has been implementation-led, which means I test how digital public infrastructure and decentralized technologies can actually serve civil society organizing. The question at the center of my work has been around how do we build resilient, durable, and scalable systems that sustain real local action and efforts without it being captured or flattened along the way. Our event today is titled Good Life for All campaign of IYD2026, and we are honored to be joined today by Dr. Miroslav Polcer, Executive Director of IYD2026. Miro has been a visionary behind the Good Life for All campaign since 2007, nearly 20 years in the making. We have a talented group of individuals here from all across the world, including Japan, India, Austria, Greece, California, who will be sharing their respective stories on how they envision a good life for all through the civic participation and innovation stories. For those online, welcome and thank you for joining us through the UN Web TV. We welcome you from Bleiburg, a small town in the Carinthian Alps of southern Austria, which is very close to the Slovenian border. And we meet today in the middle of a heat wave, so you may see us sweating a lot. For most young people here today, like me, this is not just a backdrop, but a very real reality that we have to deal with. So this is a very important moment as we gather today to understand how can we build and actualize a future we all desire, a future that actually serves good life for all. With that, I now continue.
Thank you, Nana, and the Good Life for All family here of Locha. Thank you, Dr. Miroslav Pozer. I am honored here today to be in Austria, in Carinthia, to speak to all our esteemed guests, colleagues, and fellow change makers across the world. It is truly a pleasure to be here with you all. My name is Jose Luis Negrete. I am of Mexican-American descent. I am from California, from the city of Oxnard. I have recently returned home from 2.5 years abroad in Geneva, Switzerland, where I was working in several capacities with the United Nations on Sustainable Development and the post-2030 UN agenda, focusing on the environment, climate, and youth initiatives. The SDGs, right? Sustainable Development. We find ourselves at a critical juncture in where the UN system is under severe attack, reductions in funding, its budget, and we find ourselves regressing in progress. So what can be done? Here today, we are wondering, as youth, anxious youth, what solutions are there? Well, today we have a solution as part of the Good Life for All campaign. And now I will transition the introduction to our friend Anais in New York, who is our youth climate delegate here at Locha. Anais,
She is not yet.
She's not yet on the line.
She will join you.
Okay. That was the transition.
With that, we can move to the next section then, which is where we introduce the Good Life for All campaign. And to do that, I want to invite Dr. Miroslav Pozer on the stage to give us a brief introduction of why we gather here today.
So, hello everyone, willkommen, dobrodošli from Bleiburg. Thank you very much, Nena. Thank you very much, Jose. It's such a pleasure to celebrate the International Youth Day with you all here from the Good Life for All Co-Creation Lab. And, we have gathered here upon invitation of my organization, and my organization is IAI Glotcha. IAI stands for International Association for the Advancement of Innovative Approaches to Global Challenges, and the raison, how it's called, the reason why we exist is that we are seeing, as Jose has said, anxiously people see global challenges growing, the capacity of global community with the existing institutional setting decreasing, and but on the other hand, we have so many creative, entrepreneurial, and wonderful people, especially young people, and therefore, we have said, let's build this ecosystem in which everyone, everywhere can take action for the common good in a global goals framework. And so we came up with the Good Life for All campaign, because we've seen that the existing effort to align everybody towards global goals implementation, the Agenda 2030, SDGs, it was too abstract. It was too far away from people. And so the local level, cities, local communities, individuals, they somehow didn't find their entry point. They even didn't find the intellectual entry point. So because sustainable development is such an abstract term, and what does it have to do with my life? And so our approach with Good Life for All is, let's frame this collaborative effort as an effort for a good life for all, because everybody wants to have a good life. So it's really relevant for everybody. And so we have created this campaign, and we had here now this co-creation lab where we have looked at desirable futures. We will hear more from our co-creation lab participants later. And we have developed tools, digital solutions, ecosystem, digital public infrastructure, because in order that global community, global family works really like an organism, responding like an organism to these threats, these global challenges, we need data, information connection, information streams, so that we are working like a mycelium somehow as one, because the challenges are affecting all of us, so we should all of us being part of the solution. So this is a little bit of an entry point. You see on the screen the slides. It's about good life for all, everyone, everywhere taking action for healthy people, healthy communities, and a healthy planet. And we have had a needs assessment, or somehow the gaps, analyzing the gaps last few days, and we have envisaged a good life, and now we have a pathway towards implementing a good life for all with our campaign. And a warm thank you to Aska and her team, World Hikari Project. They have created this beautiful introductory video clip. I will show immediately after my intervention the clip again. And then thanks also to a sports and youth hotel here in Bleiburg. They are a wonderful infrastructure for young people. There's a swimming facility, there's an indoor sports building here, and here we are planning in the future to have annual gatherings on of partners of the Good Life for All campaign. We had yesterday sessions on onboarding of partners, on collaborative governance. Nina is a big expert in this, the task leader now for this. And yeah, we want to bring hope today with our work. We believe a better world is possible, and we are unstoppable. So thanks again, everyone, for being here with us, and let's build a better world together. And now I will show this video clip again that was before. So this one.
Now with that, I want to invite each and every one of the co-creation lab partners to come and join us on the stage, introduce their role in the greater campaign that we are building, and how their work aligns with the Good Life for All campaign.
Without further ado, our next speaker is Nadja Polser.
Hello, everybody. So I am basically a collaborator all of my life with my father's work here. He introduced me, him and my mother introduced me to climate challenges and climate challenges, basically. I don't have any other word because they are challenges. Since I was very young, and with the participation in conferences, in UN conferences regarding the environment, regarding the climate, I had a very early awareness of what the challenges that are going to arise. And so I started to study law, and during my studies, I realized that the legal system, the political system in our world is basically flawed to really address the issues that are arising and that we have right now, as she already said, because we have such a heat wave right now, and it's we are sweating all of the time, and this is just the worst heat wave we ever had, but it's just the worst heat wave until next year, and then the next year, and then again the next year. So climate change and the climate challenges are a really big issue in my world, and I think also in regards to the youth outside and also humanity in its entirety. And we have collaborated here with representatives, as said, from around the world, and we basically figured out 4 main topics that were how we define a good life. And below all of those, it's like basically as a meta level, over this is basically to tackle the climate challenges. And we will see. I am very hopeful that we will have, with this Good Life for All campaign and with those initiatives that are going to arise from it, that we will have a global network of very engaged and very ambitious people, that we will have an opportunity to really collaborate and really at least limit the effect of climate change. And thank you very much.
Our next speaker, and we're proud to have him here from India, from Delhi actually, is Sankalp.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Miroslav, for having me, and thank you for the participation in this group. The past 3 days of discussion has been quite well. We have been discussing quite a few things, and as Nadia was saying, this is how we have come to the conclusion of what I, in reality, but not in practicality. We are still far from it. So, firstly, this event is happening on International Youth Day. I'm just 24, youngest in the room. I am an entrepreneur and a climate strategist, or youth climate strategist, as people like to tend it, and as I like to call myself. So when we look at these holistic challenges that we see, or the problem statements that we're trying to solve in order to achieve a good life, we also come to this realization that all of these challenges are long-term challenges, or require long-term planning and thinking, not a minuscule short-term understanding of what the current structure of most multilateral organizations tend to think about, right? We have the 2030 SDG goals, but after 2030, we have no clarity. There is small actions that are being taken together at some national or some state or regional levels, but at a national, international level or multilateral level, there is still no steps that are being taken in a coherent manner to actually achieve a good life or a better life for all when we talk 20, 30, 40 years down the line. And someone needs to take ownership of those challenges. And I think this platform serving right here might serve as a good starting point of this discussion, if not the ending at it. And that is why we have gathered here. Thank you all for having me. And it's a pleasure to be part of this group. I'll not take much more time. Thank you.
And next we have a very energetic fellow from Tokyo, Japan, but also based in London. From Nippon Life, we have Mr. Mac.
Thank you very much. I'm Makoto Kubo. Just call me Mac. I'd like to go through the 4 responsibility and also 4 aspects of the Good Life for All project. First, financial resilience. I have been working in the insurance sector for more than 30 years. Actually, we talk about the securities and protection and resilience. You talk a lot about football, but if everyone play as a central forward, you can win a game. So we have to have a different role. So, and we are very happy actually to serve as a goalkeeper, so that we can continue your life journey and we protect you. Second, resources. Under APEC Finance Minister's process, I represent a long-term institutional investors, including insurance company, pension funds, and asset managers. Actually, those companies are now struggling to find the impact investment, the investment which is good for the society, for the people and planet. But it's very difficult to find those investments. So we can serve as a forum just to match those people to get the job done. Innovation. I'm an ambassador for World Hikari Project. Actually, we are bringing the amazing innovation to surprise everyone, just to bring the healthier and more sustainable future. And of course, entertainment. I'm a director for Music for SDGs, and using the music and fashion and film and art just to enhance the awareness and empower the collective action. Next page. So this is music for SDGs. We use music, we do concert, and also in Fashion Week, we are bringing the amazing revolution of fashion, and also we are bringing the film and art together to the film festival, and using the film, we can educate people. Entertainment. My signature lecture at the university and also keynote speech in the insurance conference is actually bringing the musician with me, and my entire lecture will be the musical entertainment. This is how we continue to surprise people and also build the society. And I'm very happy to work with Culture for the Good Life for All project. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Next, we have another special guest coming from Los Angeles, California, Long Beach area, Ruby Guillen.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ruby Guillen from Los Angeles, California. I'm a hardcore child advocate. I've been working social work since 1997, always working on the welfare and the well-being of children, all the way to young adults. My whole process with Lochas, how do we implement a service engine that not just implements goodwill and good luck for children in my local area, but also understand that process can be implemented from the local to the global. What does it look like at the UN perspective? Because we have children around the world. We have homeless children around the world. We have children that are abused around the world. So how can we use local initiatives that have promise and use the global platform of the UN to emphasize the safety and welfare of all children? Therefore, I'm very honored to be with Locha. I'm humbled by the leadership of Miroslav Polzer. Thank you for the invitation for me to be part of this whole global movement. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ruby. Next up, we have another individual from India, Nena, but she's also a resident of Austria. He's not here. He's not here yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So Nena,
Yeah,
the floor is yours.
thank you. So I got very kind words said about me from Miroslav when he was describing the campaign. I think I always find myself in situations where I try to structure emerging ideas in ways that it can thrive in the future and can be operationalized. So the role that I find myself is, of course, continuing the digital public infrastructure work and how it can be implemented for the Good Life for All campaign, but also facilitating dialogue amongst the various stakeholders to understand what are the new myths that we are making together to bring this new future to life. And it has been a complete pleasure to be speaking to each one of you in the last few days, and I'm excited for what is to come up. And with that, I invite the next speaker, Ricardo Ortega, to say thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I am very excited to be here, my first time in Austria. Thank you, Miroslav, for the invitation, and to Good Life for the opportunity to be here. My name is Ricardo Ortega. I am a former foster youth. I grew up in the foster care system in LA County. I represented over 2.2 million young people across our county, to helping them have a space and a decision-making process and be part of the development of systems, but also that are very youth-centered and youth approach. I'm here as a 26-year-old, have passed 3 pieces of legislation already in the state of California. California has over 60,000 foster youth. LA County has about 30,000 foster youth that are currently in our system that do not have a voice and go through different challenges. And so I'm very excited to be here, represent and uplift that voice with all of you to see how we can collaborate together, and also making sure that there's more young people at the table. I'm also the Chief Executive Officer for Pax Imperium, which we're really excited to focus on self-sustainable projects, infrastructure development, and bringing and creating local jobs across, not only in the United States, but also in Europe and other parts of the country. So we're very excited to have that humanitarian approach to our development, but also focusing on young people elevating them and giving them opportunities to grow in their respective sectors. So thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you.
And with that, I have a pleasure of reintroducing Jose Negrete.
Yes. Thank you, Nana. And thank you all, everybody. I'll stand for this one, actually. So I represent Human Dream Foundation in Los Angeles. I'm the program management officer. I tend to say I believe that my Good Life for All campaign started in 2019 when I was involved on the Homeless Commission in the city of Oxnard, where I got to see really deeply the exploitative effects of poverty. When people are on the streets, I see how youth were allowing themselves to get taken advantage of. There was no support system there. And I always wondered how I can help bridge this with the United Nations and sustainable development, because we have refugees, we have foster youth, as Ricardo said, we have homeless individuals. So I really took this effort to get to know the public sector early on in 2019, but then the pandemic happened, and as a bunch of youth, we got lost. We're still kind of dealing with the effects of the pandemic and this hopelessness that still persists in the system, right? I mean, I'm 33, but I'm still kind of wondering where my life is headed, because a lot of the systems that we grew up looking at are gone, or they're being destroyed right now with the United Nations. So from that point, I started washing dishes at a high school just to keep the money going during the pandemic. And then I got into UCLA, where I learned urban planning. So urban planning, what does that have to do with sustainable development? I think urban planning, public administration are two key areas where we can get global mindsets and education early on into youth, and then operationalize that in the local field, where you can become a housing planner, or you can start making climate-friendly housing development. You can start focusing on economic development and inclusion for youth, et cetera. And then from there, I took that knowledge to the United Nations and consulted and worked with several UN agencies, really about how we can make a better world, but a better life for every individual, because every individual youth matters. So with that brief introduction, I want to give the floor back to Miroslav Poser to introduce the Glocha Challenges Mapping Tool that we're here to present and talk about. Thank you, Miro.
Okay. Oh, let's add this slide. So there is a little bit of a problem with the connection. A ty masz jakieś slajdy. Tu myślę, że... Okay. So when we are looking at collaborative action for the common good, then we have to have an understanding of what the needs and the problems of the people are. As a global community, we had in the Agenda 2030 the process that there were deliberations on the top level in the context of the UN to try to understand what the challenges are, and putting them together in a big plan, a master plan, some kind of compass of where we want to go. But I said already before, this didn't connect really with the people on the ground. So, when we are collaborating for the common good, there is this information from the ground, from the people. They know the realities in their neighborhoods. Is very important. It's essential so that we have really tailored solutions. And for this, to hear this voice of the citizens and to have them, giving them a voice that they can co-shape the collaborative efforts, the use of public resources. And so we have developed the challenges mapping tool. It's a social innovation primarily enabled by digital innovation. And there was the project JET4CE, Just Energy Transition for Central Europe, financed by the European Union in the Interreg Central Europe project, where we have developed this tool for citizens' engagement in just energy transition programs. May I have the next slide? Okay, good. So this is how it looks like. There's also the URL to the tool. It's the first version. And it was then implemented in the 9 Central European countries with
multilingual support. So the tool recognizes your location and then automatically adjusts the language. And you can set up a profile easily by entering an email and then receiving the access. And next slide. So people can then either using the location function of the phone or by entering an address, they can localize a challenge, and then they can align it. They can choose the challenges category. It's easier to find and to group and to analyze this information, and then adding videos or photos, and then uploading this, next one, and then it can be voted on by other users of the platform and commented so that we have some insights. But we have seen that this is we need to have further digital tools, which is it already the next one in the, and I will mention briefly the digital identity, or okay, so Long Beach. Okay, Long Beach first. Yeah, so then let's give back to Jose, and just to say that we are developing the next level of this tool, where we connect it with verified, trusted identity systems, because otherwise the system where people just enter the email can be hacked and manipulated, and then we have distorted picture of the public opinion if somebody is using the tool, sending 100 challenges reports on the topic that this person wants to push. And so trusted identities, and then really for those who are contributing these reports, a Global Genders Action Registry, and that these contributions are validated, verified, and also being socially recognized, or can be also used in some kind of citizen science entrepreneurship, micro-entrepreneurship frameworks, that really those who engage in helping their local and global communities to understand the realities on the ground better, that they receive then also funding for this. And the partner for this next level is Long Beach in California, and we are very happy to have you as a partner.
As Miro mentioned, thank you, Miro. As Miro mentioned, this challenges mapping tool really puts back action towards sustainable development in the hands of the everyday person. Our focus is to democratize digital public infrastructure with GloChat Global Challenges Mapping Tool. And one avenue that we found that's very productive is, why not just go to the educational institutions that are disconnected from the UN? Personally, I worked at the UN. It took me 3 master's degrees just to get there. I had to go from one master's in LA to another one at UCLA, then just to Switzerland, just to be even considered to be working at the UN. For me, that's an injustice. We have billions of people across the world, billions of youth. They want to make action, but they feel they're disconnected. So with the CMT, with Miro, and I met Miro back in January in Long Beach, actually. We all came together through Ruby Guillen, who introduced us to put an actual concrete structured plan in place, where we got the legal side of Long Beach City College's public health department to work with GloChat and through Human Dream as the anchor institution, to be able to then add this feature of a challenges mapping tool, geospatial intelligence data gathering, to then allow students in Long Beach to test this out in the field to identify whether it's urban heat islands, homelessness, pollution in the built in waterways, change their built environment by citizen involvement, so that way we can create citizen science. So once this challenging mapping tool gets utilized in Long Beach, it's then going to enable us to synthesize that data from the field, from the ground in these places, to then create core themes of what I call regional sustainable development objectives, which is enabling our local communities to then shape what sustainable development, but also what a good life looks like for their communities, by directly creating the themes and the concepts. I mean, we've been here for the last week developing ideas. We came across 4 themes. That's just us from across the world. Now imagine what people in your communities can come up with through active participation in what I call bringing the UN to you with a TH at the end.
We call Dr. Miroslav both back to introduce the identity systems.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nena. Thanks, Jose, for this great presentation. So we said digital tools are needed, digital public infrastructure, so that we have everyone connected. We know who is doing what, where, how, with what kind of resources and action and what kind of outcomes, so that we can recognize it and award it, incentivize it. And so a key element that we've identified as a systemic need are trusted digital identities. Because now, if currently the status is, if you want to hear from young people or so what they have done for climate or SDGs, you ask them to fill the form or send us an email or so. But these are all communication forms which can be manipulated. They can be faked. In times of AI agent, you can throw this kind of data 1,000 times, and in the end, those who have the power and those who have the financial resources to award this kind of action will say, I cannot trust you. And so this adds also to this fears and this despair of young people, that they feel powerless. And so we say, let's look for an identity system through which you become a trusted person in this community, and you can put yourself and your actions on a global map, on the global stage. And so this is our digital Global Channels Action ID program. And so it is has a strong focus on NFC technology. This near field circuits is that if you come with a phone that is NFC enabled, you can check the ID, and then this geospatial location information from the phone combined with the verified ID card, it then gives you proof of action, proof of attendance, and this kind of things. And yeah, so it can be combined then also with national identity systems, and it can be also a lower level of verification and security, but with a higher privacy, that people can use the system to have a verified personhood with an action handle or a nickname. But just when people meet and they confirm to one another that they are real people, then they are trusted. And we are still developing these solutions, and there will be big efforts in New York in September to get also substantial funding for this, also with the UN International Center for International Computing Center and ITU. But the point is that we have, for this first version, the demo versions, we have now purchased a card printer, which has this functionality that we can code on to them the NFC chips, the first basic functionalities. And so that you see, it's not only ideation, but we are already getting into the implementation phase. And this element of the digital public infrastructure is then the basis that people can log into a system to really document what they are doing for the common good, for healthy people, healthy communities, healthy planet. And here we have with Nena an expert who will tell us more about how this can be done.
Thank you. Maybe we
I
can-
will end this slide.
So to begin, the work I'm going to be presenting today, I'm doing this with a startup called River Computer around architecture and validation of claims using digital public infrastructure. So this work is grounded in implementation-focused research that I've done for the last 5 years with my colleague Austin Wade-Smith, who's not here right now, but they have spoken on Brocha UN events previously. So we have been working on this idea since Region Foundation, and now we are building these ideas through River Computer. So I just have 2 brief slides to tell you on how we can do this So first thing is around how claims are composable primitives. So we are often told that data is the new gold, right? We have heard that many times. But raw data does not run the world. The claims that we make using the data is what runs the world. So simply a photograph, a satellite image, a simple agreement does not tell us anything until unless it is structured in a way that allows us to validate that information and extract ground and contextual information from it. So the architecture that we show right now, it's almost like a Lego block architecture, which means we are breaking it down into as many modular components as possible. So by attaching a bunch of evidences that we collect, we create a layer that constitutes a simple Lego block that can be validated in various protocols that we establish. When it reaches that verification and validation layer, we create claims, and those claims can then be composed to create different kinds of settlement and instrumental layers, such as insurance, or like a carbon credit, or like saying that a funding allocation for what it was provided has been achieved. So the thought really is to break it down into as many modular components as possible, so it allows us to make complex claims on top of it. We also know that we live in a world where there are many frameworks presented to us around how that impact can be communicated. We have SDGs, we have ESGs, we have science-based targets, we have carbon credit methodologies, we have insurance claims. So the idea is also that as we create these stable units of evidence, these can be composed to make different kinds of reporting frameworks. So basically, you collect the evidence once, but you can use that evidence to create different kinds of reports. It's almost like a translation layer that allows us to speak in an interoperable manner between different forms of impact, or like the stories that we want to say. Can we move to the next slide? The second thing I want to talk about is the role of indexes. So we spoke that data is only valid, or is only gold when we can structure it in some kind of logic, and it can be validated by trusted credentials that allows us to understand what that data actually stands for, like what does it corroborate in real life. So the idea of index can be described, is almost like a hit play moment on what do we do after that data enters the digital public infrastructure. So we have evidence of action, like we have gathered here today for the GloChat event. We have UN Web TV recording that is recording us live with probably a timestamp and a day stamp. We have a number of participants that have come up to the stage and spoken, and so either in real time or in the future, that allows us to understand what is the reach of this campaign in this particular moment. Then combining all of these claims, as Miroslav was previously explained, of verified digital identity, of this can be used to corroborate this data on the digital public structure. Is it really true? Were you one of the people that attended? How is it corroborated in this? Is it corroborated email ID or the GloChat ID card, NFC card that you made? How do we corroborate a person, personal in the digital public? That then says that the data, that then creates the validation layer, validating that data. Index is the interesting bit here, because we want to really talk about what kind of indicators are we looking to understand the challenge that we are making for the GoodLifeForAll campaign. Is the indicator that we are to build better housing that allows us to have not such hot indoor temperatures in summer? Is it going to be that we install air conditioners in everybody's house so that we feel a little bit better during the heat wave? Or is the indicator going to be that we'll plant more trees so that we have better shadow around the building that naturally cools space down? What are the kind of indicators that we are really looking for to understand whether the commitments that we're making towards the broader Good Life campaign are being met or not? And the part is the money or the certification part, which is that if those commitments are met, which means if we have effectively succeeded in achieving the goals for the broader campaign, then we can have auto remittance, or we can issue a certificate or a hypercard that basically have successfully delivered SDG goal or a certain kind of de-risking of an investment or a certain initiative that we have been moving. The role of index really is to create the logic behind how do we compose validation and structuring of these evidences to create what we call impact tools out of this. So this is the vision that and the work that we bring as River Computer into building this campaign, and we are very excited to be doing this with all of you. I want to bring again Matt, who has a wonderful video to show us about the World Study Project in a very, very brief time. So a big thank you to the team who put this together. I'm also seeing this for the first time, so I'm very excited. Yeah, give to us from our friends in Japan. So
Wow.
So first of all, please enjoy the video. It's a short.
Big file. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Let's put it again. Shall we? Well, check. No, I cannot. It's a very big file, so it's.
Maybe we can upload it on the Brocha YouTube channel for everybody to see.
I'm very sorry.
I'm working. So, thank you.
She can make it smaller.
Yes, please make it smaller and we'll show it later. During the event.
Maybe in the meantime, I will just maybe explain what
Please do so. Yeah.
project is. So please.
The stage again.
Okay. And then
You should come more to the center.
Okay. And, sometimes we are facing the unexpected solution to deal with the unexpected events. So let me start at this moment. Actually, the Vertically project is actually the project bringing that solutions to the challenges that we are facing before. For example, the transition, also the sustainable health issues, then the and the other technologies, agricultures. So there are a lot of different aspects, pharmaceutical, medical solutions. But there is actually a lot of activities are there. But also they do entertainment related activities. But I'd like to show some examples that entertainment is actually helping people. Actually, the first one is I'd like to talk about the New Silica project. So actually, this New Silica project was featured in the APEC that I just talked about, also featured in OECD, because this material is the dream material, which is made of the rice husk. It's a waste from the rice that the Japanese people are eating every day. So, and then those would have a kind of special technology actually to use that new silica to make the building resilient. And then, for example, if it applied for the drink, it would be good for the health. And also if it is applied to the semiconductor, so that would make the telecommunication much faster. So there are so many different solutions. So now the this New Silica project is actually receiving the acquisition offer like 2 billion pounds. So this is a very promising technologies. And then what we are now combining this to the beautiful art. For example, the beautiful like the fashion shows and movies that people can understand this in a very entertaining fashion. And also the Amaterasu. Amaterasu is a very mysterious artist. Usually artists that creating the art on their own for themselves. But this Amaterasu is actually helping the others, especially the most recently featured artist was the one with a severe disability. There's someone who cannot walk, who cannot see, who cannot talk. But that person have a special frequency coming from. And then this technology will turn that into a very beautiful art and collaboration with the talented flat art artists, award-winning artists. So that will make this art valuable at $1 million level of the art. So now the people who are living in the complete darkness has been, excited actually to become an artist. And also another one is Dream Seed. Actually, Dream Seed was led by the children, and then the children just connecting each other and just to have a seed for the dream, and then help each other actually to achieve their goal. And Space Youth Summit. So we are planning actually to have a summit of the youth and children actually getting together in the space, and then we can actually from the space we can provide the solutions. Actually, this video has been you will see the video later, but this is actually coming from the discussion with the Gloja. And then a lot of the concepts are actually included in this video. For example, like I know that the Gloja is working on a space project. So now we are now considering to have a collaboration with our space project and also the Good Life for All project in that space. So that will have a very win-win. So this is something like that. So we are very looking forward to have this collaboration. So look at ourselves. Last words from me. We are all excellent in many different ways. Some people who can analyze, some people who can do mathematics, some people who knows histories, who can memorize things, and who can manage the people. For example, who can do sport, who can think in place of others, and who can sing, who can dance, good looking. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about every different features that each one of them. So if you have something you are good at, please make sure that you use that feature for good cause. Because if your high intention is used for criminal act, it's not just strength, it's your weakness. So now we are gathering the good things that each person has, even though someone with a disability, and then that can be combined, and we can collectively be a very powerful body and saving the planet. And that can be registered in the card, and we can be proud by the recognition, and then we can probably enjoy from the outer space to the earth. So thank you. I think maybe the video is almost ready.
Will take another few minutes, but let's meanwhile connect with New York.
That we do want to bring Dr. Yuta maybe back to the stage to you. Oh.
Hello, can you hear us?
Amazing. Yes, we can.
Yes. So now our next speaker is our Glocha Youth Delegate reporting live from the International Youth Day Summit on Youth and AI in UN HQ, Anaïs Clément of France and Portugal. You have the floor, Anaïs.
Thank you very much, Jose. So my name is Anaïs Clément. I am the UN Youth Representative for AIA Glocha. I'm here speaking to you from the United Nations headquarters in New York. And today is the International Youth Day, as we talked about it in this panel. And we're corresponding with the Ambassador Stan Smith that was leading a discussion as well for the AI Summit organized by the International Youth Organization. And we were also connected recently with Doudragon, with UN Habitat, that was doing a special project about COP31 and the different initiative by the youth on the local level and how they were like reaching the global level to build action, but also be empowered and part of the discussion as they are building the next actions of tomorrow and already doing it now on different aspects. And now if we can go with Ambassador Stan Smith to talk about his ambitions, his perspective and hopes for the youth, specifically when facing digital innovation, AI growth, and what he wants the youth to understand from this International Youth Day and AI Summit. Thank you.
Let me correct you first of all. So Ambassador Stan Smith is in the room, is from
Yes.
Bahamas.
Yes.
I am from Dominica, Filbert Aaron. So I don't know if that's who you wanted. So right, I'm Filbert Aaron, and Stan Smith is the other ambassador who is from the Bahamas. So
I'm sorry, there was
No
like
problem.
a
No problem at all.
miscommunication with Rick. There is a
no
I'm so
problem
very
at all.
sorry.
For me, it's no problem at all.
Thank you.
So the question is, do you want to go get Ambassador Smith?
I
Or
think
you want
we
to
have more.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. No problem. Yes.
Hi, Filbert. We are very happy that you are with us. So,
Thank you. How are you doing? Yes. So yes. So this is International Youth Day, and youth, I find gets patronized a lot. A lot of sweet things are said to and about youth, but less serious things are done with youth. And so today, in my address, on behalf of the Commonwealth of Dominica, we wanted to communicate our belief that youth should not just be present for good looks or for show, but involved in substantive ways. And on the topic, on the theme of today's meeting, AI, in connection with youth, we called for youth to be not just consulted, not just used as consumers of the technology, but that youth be engaged substantively in serious ways as creators. Also, that they help govern AI regimes, and that their views be considered and included in critical decisions about AI. And in addition to the reason being, in addition to questions of equity, youth are going to bear, if it is a burden, the burden, and if it is positive, the benefits for longer than any adult at this moment. And so it is a matter of equity, but also equity is a part of justice. So it's also a part of justice. And the hope is that involving youth in those critical ways in this technology would, one, make this technology and use of and governance of this technology more humane and more human, but also contribute to a better future, a better world, a world that is more empathetic, a world that is respectful of our natural world, biodiversity, sustainable living, friendship and brotherhood among people, and overall the common good. So that was our call on International Youth Day, being mindful that much more is said to and about youth than is put into practice, than is implemented. And we wanted to be mindful of that and call for a change in whatever way we could. And that was the substance of our contribution today. We're very happy to be involved in this very meaningful activity, and we hope it continues, and we hope it has its fullest impact going forward.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
You're most welcome.
Thank you. Miroslav? Your son is muted, Miroslav.
Very special day today.
Your sound, bro. Your sound.
Is it working? Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you now. You should have asked that.
Yeah, I was surprised seeing you sitting there, but it's a learning process. But Dr. Professor Aaron Filbert is the ambassador of the mission of Dominica to the UN in New York, and he is also a great partner of GLOCHA. We have had events together at the STI Forum, but already last year at our UN headquarters New York conference, and really a thought leader on these topics of using emerging technologies for enhancing well-being in the Caribbean. And thank you very much, Anais, that you made the effort to have this bridge between UN headquarters and Bleiburg here. It's very much appreciated. Thanks for having been with us.
It is our pleasure, and we recognize the good work you do. Thank you.
I think certainly what you said did resonate with me, that we talk a lot, but we do very little when it comes to youth taking, sustained action and the opportunities that are provided for the youth to take up more stage to actually do something. And with that vision, we want to try to replay the video that our friends from World Hikari Project have made. That is in some ways also a manifestation of that message visually.
But it's still loading.
It's still loading?
The laptop did a systems update during this event.
It's amazing. Okay.
All right then.
We are all right then.
Yeah.
It will be in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Then with that, okay, then maybe we move to the next section and we invite Dr. Miroslav Polzer back on the stage to introduce our next guests from UNOSA.
Yes, I will. So the next topic that we are addressing, or let's change the setting. Sorry for doing it alone. So we are talking about identities, about registries, about knowledge system, collective geospatial intelligence systems, and we have a special digital public infrastructure initiative with the UN Office for Outer Space Affairs that is a unique flagship initiative in which the situation is such that the UN system does not, geospatial data is very important. Everybody is starting to talk about satellites and geospatial information because in the times of AI, you need data and satellites are providing a wealth of data. And the UN system is spending $20 million per year for Earth observation data, which they purchase from private vendors. And now UNOSA has on the table a product proposal to have for $10 million its own satellite for 5 years. They are guaranteeing full functionality, everything, maintenance and everything. And it costs only 10 millions. And so it could cover all the data needs of the UN system, but somehow the UN system, based on the operation system it has, is not able to raise these $10 million. And so we said, this is such an important global digital public infrastructure. It can be relevant for universities. It can be relevant for impact entrepreneurs, for cities, urban planners, and many more. And so we believe that as we have a partnership also with Rotary, we will hear later from Alberto more about it, has 1.2 million members, 40,000 clubs. They have a combined turnover per year of about $2 billion. And they are also all about local action for the common good. And it needs also a database. So we said, Blocha, with this digital public infrastructure focus, we are now setting up a resource mobilization partnership to raise the funding for this kind of initiative, like UNOSA's digital public infra satellite. And we are going to organize digital public infrastructure resource mobilization partnership within the UNFCCC process. That's the climate change process, the global climate action agenda. We will have events there in New York. We have our annual conference at the UN headquarters in New York on the 17th of September. We have an exhibit from the 14th to the 18th. And there we will bring resource holders, Rotary system representatives, giving pledge signatories. There are more than 200 billionaires' families who have pledged to give back to society at least half of their wealth before they die. They have a combined wealth of more than $1 trillion. And so there are $500 billion waiting to be channeled into meaningful investments into the well-being of the world. And we are now the champions as regards building the framework in the connection with the UN system that these resource holders can channel money into digital public infrastructure solutions. And as regards UN Office for Outer Space Affairs, they have also a strong Youth for Space for Youth program. And we will hear now a video message from their Space for Youth Program Manager, and Laurent Charan, the Chief of Section for Space Applications from UNOSA, who is our main partner for this UNOSA satellite initiative. He is in Iceland today because there's a special event in relation to the solar eclipse, which will be happening in 2 hours or so. And so it's also, I believe, a symbol about the importance of our event today. It is really, the stars are aligning for us, and it's really a wonderful initiative. We can, with the investment of 10 million, or we are searching for $15 million because there's another 2 million for a satellites imagery distribution platform, 1.5 million for capacity building in the UN system, but also beyond. And there is $1.5 million that we are seeking for setting up the institutional vehicle, Web3 based and AI enabled quasi-international organizations, which we are planning to register in Switzerland. And so it's a 15 million price tag for a wealth of data for UN agencies, for universities, for urban planners, and for impact entrepreneurs. And we are developing now also these financial instruments that on the one hand, the signatories of the Giving Pledge will be just having to sign these contracts for these innovative investment opportunities into the global common good. And also individuals, we are working on digital collectibles programs so that citizens and communities will be able to invest in this kind of digital public infrastructure. And I'm giving the word also to Meg, because Meg is a finance innovation expert from the insurance sector, and this kind of Earth observation data, satellites, they are very important also for the insurance sector, and we believe that we can channel also some of the resources of the insurance sector into this kind of initiatives. Meg, thanks for being here.
Hello. I know I talk too much, but I cover a lot of things, so just call me Marco or Trace. Actually, my last name Okubo has 3 characters. I already told you in my concert. The first one, O means big, Ku means long term, Bo means insurance. So I'm Mr. Big Long Term Insurance. But I have to, I didn't say about my first name. My first name, Makoto, means shining star. I'm a shining star of the life insurance company. I'm very happy to talk about space and insurance. Actually, the space is a very potential place. For example, you can see from the space to the Earth. But you know that Japan, lot of earthquakes, but they are big earthquakes. In 2011, the Tohoku earthquake, the tsunami came. So you don't even know where was your town. So you don't know that who are underground. So if you can see from the Earth, you have no idea. But from the space, with the technology just explained through the New Silica project, which have a quantum computer, technologies. So from the space, you can see how to solve those people, how to minimize the potential. Tremendous opportunity actually to enhance the resilience and all the other matters. So this is something that we are very interested in. So maybe we will talk about the possible collaboration that probably bring in the investors who might be interested in bringing business, but at the same time that the business would actually save the funds and help the people. So this is something that we want to do. And then about this New Silica project, so I'd like to announce very exciting things. So I don't know if Miro remember, but several years ago, I invited the like a designer who is always having the gala events for 4 major fashion week from New York, London, Paris, and Milan. And she was a speaker during the Glocha event at United Nations. At that time, we were working on bringing the Down syndrome model at this Fashion Week. But now, actually, the World Hikari Project and Samina Muga, from Indian origin, they are having a project actually to create the innovative clothes which can change the health condition. So wearing that clothes, actually, you can improve your health. This kind of project is now working on, and we are planning to announce that for the fashion weeks around the world. New York, London, Paris, and Milan this autumn, when we are planning UN meeting. So please look for it. So you should be part of this big momentum, so we can work together actually to make our dream come true.
Yeah. And now I think the video should be ready.
Yeah.
To go.
Thank you. We all learn a very important thing. There's always second chance in our life.
That's beautiful.
Journey for the success.
Bravo, very good. Here we are. Well. I also showed the video from the Space for Youth program. And let's see whether Mr. Laurent is not.
To celebrate International Youth Day and to participate in the Good Life for All event. Today also marks a significant day for space. Approximately 22 minutes after the end of your meeting, much of the Northern Hemisphere will also be treated to a special celestial show, namely a total solar eclipse as the moon passes between the Earth and the Sun. I've been invited to say a few words on our Space for Youth initiative. Space and space sustainability, in their very nature, are intergenerational and inspirational. An accidental crash between two satellites in space tomorrow could risk the services that we rely on in our everyday lives: communication with friends, TV broadcasting, navigation, teleeducation in remote areas, and so much more. This is why UNUSA established Space for Youth. Space for Youth brings together two strands of our work: space governance and public advocacy, and secondly, capacity building and the scaling of space solutions. On governance, the year 1999 was significant for two reasons. Firstly, it was the last time the Earth saw a total eclipse of the Sun. And secondly, it was when countries conceived and established the Space Generation Advisory Council, SGAC. Then this is a platform for 18 to 35-year-olds, which has now become a network of over 35,000 space professionals. The second platform established, World Space Week, which sees schools and communities celebrate space every 4th to the 10th of October. It is through these platforms that we work to ensure that young people have a voice in the global space sector, informing national decision-making and also engaging in intergovernmental work of the Committee on the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space, COPUOS. The second strand focuses on capacity building. While not every person or country will travel to the moon, everyone on Earth can benefit from space technologies to improve their socio-economic prosperity. Here, ANUSA's Access to Space for All programme offers tangible STEM skills and educational opportunities through scholarships, fellowships, and hands-on training in satellite technology, space policy, and law. Let me close by wishing you good luck for the rest of this event. I would advise you not to look directly at the solar eclipse or take a photo with your camera. And finally, I encourage all of you with sons, daughters, younger brothers or sisters to check out ANUSA's newly launched children's book, which is called Tala and Her Journey Through Space. Tala's journey explains how the UN and space helps our everyday lives. So please check it out on our social media and enter our art contest that we launched today. Thank you.
face in having, let's say, a high rate of implementation of the SDGs is that we do not have robust structures which are explicitly tasked to driving the implementation and to accelerate the implementation. So this is what we built in UNSDSN Global Climate Hub. So okay, so we have developed a three-step approach in order to accelerate the implementation of the SDGs in countries. So the three steps of our process, it's simple. First, it's measure and monitor. Second is design pathways, and third is design financing pathways. So in very quickly, in the first step, and this has to do with the work that we do with UNSDSN, we are measuring, we have models to measure the level of implementation of SDGs at global scale, at regional scale, at any country around the world. But during the last decade also, we have more than 90 publications that are measuring SDGs implementation at subnational level, even at local level, at city level. And also we have developed these frameworks to transpose the corporate sustainability reporting framework to SDGs, so develop models that will help companies have a good performance in ESGs and how this is transposed to the SDGs, which is really, really important because a large part of, let's say, the economy is companies. Okay, so if companies do not hit the targets, then that means that nations and governments will not also hit the target. So the second step requires our digital platform, and actually, which is a digital twin. It's a collection of models that we can go next 4 or 5 slides later. Okay. Another one. Let's go. 3, 4 slides.
Yeah.
Yes, 2 more. But
This computer is somehow. This one is reacting up, but it's good.
Okay, so our digital infrastructure, it's a collection of models. So we do have integrated assessment models and computational general equilibrium models for the different sectors of the economy. So we do have models for land use and agriculture, for energy, for water, for shipping sector, and of course for macroeconomic models. That's one of our core, let's say, themes in our platform. It's the integration of the beyond GDP concept. So apart from measuring only GDP, the conventional measure for the produced capital, we integrate the economic externalities. That is that we integrate into the measurements the value of the natural capital, human capital, and other forms of capital which are usually neglected from the usual GDP measures. Okay, and so our platform also have, next slide please, this valuation platform module that actually is models that provide the shadow prices of these externalities that the economists can use in such macroeconomic models. Next slide please. So all of these models, we have already showcased the implementation of this platform in many countries in Europe, Asia, and Africa. We have a lot of publications, as is this in Global Climate Hub, in using this open source infrastructure. Next slide, please. And the third step, it's actually how we can build a portfolio of financing solutions. Let's say the financing pathways to support the implementation of the pathways that someone can design through the use of the models. Okay, so all of these models are actually important because they give the opportunity to the governments to design an optimal action plan towards the implementation of the SDGs. Now, the third step would be the design of the financing portfolio. So what is the mixture of different financing instruments to support the long-term implementation of the specific pathways? Next slide, please. Of course, all of these steps are not performed without the stakeholders. So IFORIA has more than 70 active living labs around the world. So throughout this process, the stakeholders are engaged in order to co-design, in order to validate, in order to test the scenarios, even the parameters in the models. So we actually engage, and the stakeholders play an important role in all of the three steps. Next slide, please. And since we are discussing about the implementation of pathways and the implementation of the SDGs, one important aspect is, do we have the skills? Does the governments, does the economies have the skills to implement the SDGs? So here also our platform has tools that help government actually identify which are the competencies and skills that are needed in order to implement a specific action plan. And on the other hand, which are the educational courses, professional courses that someone can someone can take in order to fill these gaps and obtain these competencies and skills. Okay, so I will stop here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. If I may briefly add also that this networks that you are leading, these are really world-leading networks, and the UN Sustainable Development Solutions Network, this is 2,100 organizations, or how many are there? Yeah. And that's really
more than 100 universities.
Yeah,
the
amazing.
UNSDSN at the global.
Yeah. And so we have met Professor Phoebe Konduri, the leader of this
Professor
endeavors.
Konduri leads and is scientific director of all of these associations.
Yeah.
So IYD2026, UNSDSN, Global Climate Hub, UNSDSN Europe.
Yeah, and she was very active in the UNFCCC process, in the global climate action governance processes. And we have met this year in New York when we had our side event to the Science, Technology and Innovation Forum. And I've invited you, Euphoria, and SDSN Global Climate Hub to come here to see also the infrastructure here, because Professor Kundu is very positive about the initiatives that we have, and I believe you will be a key partner in the Good Life for All campaign and in this knowledge collaboration efforts with the challenges mapping tool. And the concept of the Good Life for All campaign is that then the partners will come together here every year in Bleiburg, or also in other locations around the world, certainly also in California. And that we will have also games and really young people, students coming together, competing, how is it called? Comparison, also somehow a competition, but also cooperation on scientific work, on sports, on music and art, and this kind of things. I believe we can have really great joint activities, and therefore, Konrad, thank you very much for making the effort to come here. I know it is a long journey, and thanks for having joined us. Thank you.
Maybe it's fate that our friend Conrad is from Athens, the birthplace of the Olympics, and now we have the next group from California coming here to discuss their Euro Academy project that they are starting in Southern California. So Vince and Ricardo, feel free to come on over.
Thank you, thank you.
It's yours, sir.
Thank you. Promise I'll give it back when I'm done.
Interest if you don't. Finance.
There we go. Hi, everybody. My name is Vince Crandon. I'm from right outside of Los Angeles, and we traveled here today to tell you all briefly a little bit about our new exciting project, which is called Euro Academy. Euro Academy is a youth-centric, full-time academy to teach kids not only how to become professional athletes, but to make them a whole person, basically the mind, the body, the spirit, the finances, all of it comes together to form a person, the total person, so that person can become a professional athlete. We do have a little bit of a tour to kind of show you briefly for 2 minutes what our facility in California is going to look like. So here we go. Let's do it again. While we're getting that, the facility, our first facility, will have football, or as we say in the US, soccer, and basketball as well. Those two sports will be offered to individuals from U21 under at no charge. This is the difference between what we're doing and what most other sports academies do throughout the world. We are not charging anyone to live there 10 months out of the year. We will feed them, we will educate them, we will make them a whole person so that once they do get out into the professional world, they're going to know how to not only be a competitor on the pitch or on the basketball court, but also in life in general. So many athletes crash and burn because no one is really giving them the time to educate them on finances, on mental health. The physical being is very simple. You have a body, the body can do what it does, but there's more to it than that. And a lot of the athletes out there crash because nobody teaches them how to get into the world of a lot of money and a lot of popularity and a lot of exposure. A lot of athletes die in sports cars because suddenly they have a lot of opportunities and a lot of money and they think they can just conquer the world. A lot of that is the mental health aspects of it, because when they're on the pitch, they're the king. When they're on the basketball court, they're the king. In the real world, they're just another peon. So we're really taking the time over many years in a living environment to educate, to build that total athlete so that when they are a professional, they will have the opportunities to succeed. There we go.
And the crowd goes wild as they take possession. Can they find the back of the net?
Thank you. As this facility is built on 225 acres, we'll have 600 students, 500 of which will be playing football, 100 of which will be playing basketball. Because we have the facilities of this size, as you just saw our campus, it gives us the opportunity while we're not in session for these education portions of our project to offer humanitarian offerings through the pitch. We call it Peace Through the Pitch, or initiatives to bring people throughout the world together in sport. It's the one thing they have in common, whether you're in Russia, whether you're in any war-torn areas, it doesn't matter. If you have a ball, you can now communicate on the pitch. People throughout the world can come to our facility. We're not going to charge. We'll bring them in. We'll give them a week of high-level education. but fellowship. They can see other people when these opportunities normally would never been available to them just because of where they are or what's going on in their particular country. So we call that initiative Peace Through the Pitch, bringing people together to improve mental health, improve peace. And we understand that that relationship with the UN can benefit everyone. We're going to use the UN as a conduit to bring the children in, teach them, expose them, give them hope in some cases. And at the end of the day, through mental health, we'll release them back to wherever they come from. And who knows where they'll go from there. It's all about inspiration. It's all about building a perfect person. And it's just not about playing a game. This is life. We understand that a lot of children are never given this opportunity. That's why we're not making this about finances. This is purely free, tuition free. We're not going to charge anyone anything to come to our facility. That includes attending, getting a degree. This is a 10-month full-time operation that at the end of it will give degrees based on either high school or college. So we look forward to the opportunity to partner with the UN. We look forward to bringing people in throughout the world through the Peace Through the Pitch initiative. And ultimately, by building the better athlete, we know we can build better people and hopefully a better planet. So I thank you for the opportunity to discuss this a little bit. Thank you for having me here. It's been an interesting journey, and we look forward to the partnership with the UN as we move forward. Thank you.
We have a Q&A section. If anybody wants to ask questions about the sports complex, I'll ask the first question. Can you discuss some of the other global actors in sports that you've been talking to about this idea, and how's that been received so far?
It's been a lot of the corporate America loves to be involved in large scale events. For example, the 2028 Olympics are coming to Los Angeles. That's where we're based. The 2031 Women's World Cup is coming to Los Angeles. We just got done with this World Cup. I think the last World Cup brought a lot of attention to football, especially in the US, where it's not such a popular sport as it is in the rest of the world. So we're seeing now suddenly corporations, individuals, entities that normally would have never really thought the US was the place for sport, and more specifically soccer, football, as we call it, soccer in the US. I think it's opening up a lot of eyes. And when it opens up corporate eyes, then we can expose all the other elements I discussed earlier. And again, it gives more opportunity to the kids. And this is all about the kids. We're not doing this for the money. No one's interested in trying to figure out how we can make a profit out of this. We're doing this purely as a humanitarian give back. I've had a long career. I'm 64. This is the last thing that I'm going to do.
Last dance.
This is my swan song give back. I'm gonna be thankful for the opportunities I was given, and I was taught mentor the youth. So we're going to hopefully pass the torch to the next generation, and they can continue on from there.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Does anybody else have any questions? Ruby?
Besides soccer, what other sports are you all focusing on?
Well,
Or would you like to explore?
we are exploring a lot of different sports. We
Okay.
talked about cricket, rugby, equestrian sports. Sports is a global, every country has its specific sport that it's interested in, whether it's American football or we call it soccer in the US. But sports truly, as we expand and as we expand throughout the world, we intend to go to other areas. We're looking at Japan, we're looking at Central and South America. Sports is global. And as we expand, we're going to expand the sports offering as well.
Any other questions? Yes,
sir.
Mac?
Maybe I'll ask a question. One Sky project and also the fund also founded the Astro Kids. It's a kind of NGO which is helping the people who are facing the challenges. And also he has a project combining the social contribution activity and football. So for example, we have a lot of network with the football team and also very renowned football players. So we are wondering what would be the criteria for participation in the program, and also where we can get the information. So for example, if we can find some areas for collaboration, it would be very interesting.
Sure.
Myself also have a relationship with the champion, like the champion of Japanese football league. It's like a Dodgers for US baseball and Kashima Antlers. So
Yeah, sure. Well, you'll be interested to know, baseball is one of the offerings that will be ultimately rolled out. A lot of famous Japanese players are playing for my Los Angeles Dodgers. They seem to like Los Angeles. So we're first and foremost an academy for sports. So the basic premise is you have a good athlete or a great athlete. We're not looking to develop the next Messi or whomever. We need that basic skill set before we begin. So we're not going to try and develop someone that can't play the sport, whatever sport it might be. So we'll have scouts all throughout the world looking for that particular person. Now, we're not looking to develop a Messi. So Messi could be a mess, as I used to say. He may be great on the pitch, but off the pitch, he's not going to fit. And we're frankly just not looking to develop just an athlete. It's the total person. The person has to have the willingness to listen to us and become educated, but become a better person. So we have a website, of course, called Euro Academy. It's euroacademy.us. We'll be out there looking for people. We're not looking for people to apply. So we'll have to find them. But we do have key geographic areas that we're really centralized on. We doubt we'll come to Europe because we're Euro Academy. I think they're doing a pretty good job of developing athletes. But Africa, Asia, especially the way Africa just got through the World Cup, they're amazing. But with our tutelage, our team of individuals, educators, financiers, spiritual, emotional, all these elements, we want people to believe in themselves. That's the biggest part. Because if they don't believe in themselves, no one else is going to believe in them.
Great. So I also can add more about the football and sports. We have a very good lessons for others.
Absolutely.
When I do my international negotiation, I try to have someone in between the targets to avoid offsides.
That's what we do. We stay in the middle. We're going to be their agents. We're going to be the representatives. We're going to make sure that people don't give that negative influence, mental, a lot of drugs, bad karma, as we call it. So we're going to act, teach them, train them. We're not going to just turn them over. We're going to continue to watch their career, assist them, let them come back as often as possible. As I said, this academy is 10 months out of the year. At its core, those other 2 months out of the year, summer camps, people coming in who potentially might fit our program. So it gives us the opportunity as a humanitarian organization to bring people in that may not have ever been able to come in. And they can prove that they want to become professionals, not just for the money. The money's great, but at the end of the day, when you're not alive anymore, what good is the money? That's going to do anything for it.
Right.
Ruby and Ricardo over here as well, because it's interesting how this worked out, that this is being built in Oxnard, right? Which happens to be my hometown. Just so we met a couple of months ago through Ruby and through Ricardo. Really, Oxnard already has an international youth boxing Olympics, but we're also using that existing infrastructure to connect events with the local politicians, city administrators, and regulators there in order to assist in the speeding up this process to be able to get built even sooner. And we believe that there's a lot of untapped potential amongst youth, especially from those suffering from mental health, foster youth. You mentioned that 10 months out of the year, there's going to be kids being scouted from across the world. But in this humanitarian space, we would like to see some of the kids that are system impacted participate and be able to have this opportunity, because we see how it's not just about economic development, it's about the development of the social development of the child. Do you guys want to add any input about how your thinking was structured about this, how you really said, I know you mentioned that it's something you want to get back to since you're retiring, but Ricardo, as a context of a foster youth, do you have any thoughts about how you can connect with more individuals from these backgrounds that you suffered from towards sustainable development and for the greater Good Life for All campaign?
Yeah, I think one of the beautiful things about Vince, when we first discussed this, we're actually hiring local, good paying jobs with union folks. A lot of our foster youth community tend to not go the traditional route of a 4-year, 2-year degree, but they do end up going into the trades, meaning they want to work with their hands, they want to build something from the scratch. And so Vince was very big on advocating to create good paying jobs for every single development that we do, but also allowing people from the community to benefit from this development. So that's where we were talking about self-sustainable models, that can build jobs that will allow, youth who with their mental health, who are going through different challenges, who are barriers, we can have a specific system and pathway to a good paying job, but also making sure that they stay within the community that they've been long living for. And so as a former foster youth myself, having this opportunity there for them to have a good paying job, but also have a good field that they can actually have a safe space to practice soccer or to practice basketball or to have a sense of community. It is very important for them to have that, especially in those low income communities as well. So that's a little bit about how I see it beneficial to my community as an at-risk population, but also gives social workers, that really used to be in that field of having a space where they can have an opportunity to have visitations with their family members, to have a space where they don't have to worry about getting shot or being deported or having any of those opportunities, but having a safe space where they can actually play with their mental health, but also have a safe space where they can have the opportunity to use the facility as a community. And so that's kind of like what Euro's trying to do in partnership with the city of Oxnard.
And one more on that, our general contractor and project manager, I specifically chose them because I said, we're not going to go with someone that's not going to hire a union or people from the area. Our specific area, Oxnard, it's Ventura County. It's about an hour outside of Los Angeles. There are construction firms out there that are not going to care about the local trades or the people in Oxnard. They're just going to hire whatever crew they can get. Domestic, international, doesn't matter. We specified to this company, look, we're going with you because you're going to go and hire people from the area. So again, it's just what we give back to the community. And part of that, who knows, you may have the next greatest basketball player sitting there being a bricklayer or a steelman. It's all about opportunities. And no one ever knows what plan someone can do until someone gives them the opportunity to do it.
Thank you so much for that. We really appreciate that context, the vision, and the implementation of this project. And we look forward to having this discussion grow even further for humanitarian, but also for the youth to be participating in 10 months out of the year. I look forward to seeing this in Oxnard, my hometown.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Domenico, and he will be presenting a video online. Just a second. 1 second. Okay. There it is.
Domenico, you are on stage. Okay. As we are waiting on Domenico, let's give it a third try to the video of World Hikari project. and
Yeah.
say so. Yeah. Amazing! Congratulations.
You may probably recall that it's very similar to the very famous Japanese anime. Actually, this anime was made by the team who used to work for the big anime studio. So, I think the anime fans know from all over the world. Ghibli, Makoto Shinkai, and One Piece. So those people could have
We muted, okay. So, but Mac was audible. Okay. Yeah. So regarding a Rotary Climate Action Club, Alberto Palombo usually is very reliable. He is the president of the Rotary Club of Brasilia International, and we have. He was also is on the board of ESRAG, is the Environmental Sustainability Rotary Action Group. It's about 5,000 Rotary members from around the world, who want to focus on environmental issues in their community service efforts. And Rotary ESRAG has been our partner at our Digital Innovation Pavilion at the last UN Climate Conference in Belém in Brazil. And there they also invited me to become a Rotary partner and a member. And we have then also set up the Rotary Climate Action Club as a satellite event of Rotary Club Brasilia International. And this Rotary Climate Action Club will be some kind of sandbox for the Rotary system to test with us these solutions like the Global Challenges Action ID, Global Challenges Action Registry, Challenges Mapping Tool, Collective Geospatial Intelligence. And so that, the link with Rotary is there, and it's a friendship and partnership. I'm surprised why he's not here. He messaged me 2 hours ago that he has it on the agenda and we do it, but perhaps there was something with family or traffic or so.
Rotary mental health.
Yes, please come here. That's very important information as well.
This plan for Vince may come to play. And Ricardo. Well, we also reached out for the Rotary for mental health. Ms. Grace out of LA, but she represents Rotary International. She's willing to partner with us to implement mental health for youth and young adults. Grace also knows about Ricardo, also knows about Vincent, and how do we bring sports as an action item for mental health. And she's excited, she's willing to explore, and so I think within the next month or so, we'll bring Grace to the table, introduce her to our team, and also introduce her to Vincent and Ricardo, and how we can implement sports for mental health as an action item to reduce violence in the home and in the community. Thank you.
Bravo. Thank you to Wolfie for having connected us with the huge opportunities in California. It's really amazing how you first connected us to Long Beach City College. And we have been welcomed when I've been there in January. And we said, we believe this LA 2028 is a special moment in human history where we can come together and really inspire hope that humanity has the wish to work together, and using the sports, the Olympic spirit of a friendly competition. And then we will bring this Good Life for All campaign as a legacy initiative to California. And it looks great. We have a very strong, powerful delegation from California here today. And we will be with you in New York in September. And the future will be bright.
Yes, we also reach out to NFL because of the Super Bowl. We have a team that's already working for the Super Bowl event for February 2027. And there's medical doctors to provide medical services to the football players that are willing to come participate. And we have actual NFL alum players that are willing to come to participate as well.
Amazing.
So with Vince coming in with baseball, with Vince coming in with soccer, and we have football. Right. That's right. Sorry, but American, and then we have American football coming to the table. So the sports for mental health for me is a big deal. I'm a social worker. My focus is to reduce violence in the community, and I think sports is a really good pathway to do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we believe that if at least part of those networks will start using the Global Changes Action Registry and our tools for a healthy lifestyle and also societal engagement of sports people in community action, then this will be massive.
Thank you, Vera. And if we don't have any other speakers online,
Domenico is here again. Domenico, if you want to speak, switch, turn on your camera.
He's here.
Yes, here. Okay. Giving another chance to our friend.
Yeah. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you very much for unfortunately my connection is not the best, but I want to wish to everyone
So Domenico, it seems that the connection doesn't work. Thanks for having dialed in. And we are moving on to Alberto and Rotary ecosystem and opportunities.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Let's see. If we can make this work. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, my friends, how are you? Well, I hope that you are enjoying this International Youth Day. And as the UN has determined, we have different contexts and common aspirations. And that reminds us of something that is really fundamental. And that is that young people may grow in very different countries, cultures, communities, circumstances, but they share many of the same aspirations for peace, opportunity, dignity, a healthy planet, and the ability to shape their own future. And guess what? When we talk about future, there is no way that we can back away from thinking about our global change, our climate challenges that we are facing today. And that is why I wanted to talk to you around this concept of from inspiration to action. Because, you know, we in Rotary, we have a slogan that we are people of action. And but that we also think that inspiration matters, and inspiration without a pathway to action can quickly become, just promises, frustrations, etc. So our challenge is not simply to tell younger generations that they are the leaders of tomorrow, because young people are leaders today. And in Rotary, we have a couple of instances for young people and young professionals, and those are Interact and Rotaract. So let me talk to you about a little bit of that. The real question is whether our institutions are prepared to give the young generations the space, the tools, the partnerships, and the resources to lead. And this is very special regarding climate action, because climate solutions cannot happen only inside the negotiation rooms of the conference of the party conference instances. You know, we had the one in Belém de Pará in Brazil, here in where I am right now, last year, and this year we are meeting again in Turkey, in Antalya. And we must help communities through the decisions that we are making as a society, as a council of parties, and we need to translate those concepts to the schools, the universities, neighborhoods, farms, businesses, cities, and ecosystems. And young people are already creating many of those solutions already. What we need now are mechanisms that connect these actions so they become visible, measurable, scalable, and capable of attracting support. So this is where initiatives such as GLOSHA can play an important role, which is connecting local action with global networks and digital tools and knowledge and opportunities. And this is also where Rotary can contribute. As you know, as you may have heard, Rotary is a global network of people who unite to take action to create lasting change, working across health, education, water, economic development, peace, and environmental protection. And following the COP30 in Belém, we began building an idea called the Rotary Climate Action Club. As a global climate-focused COP30 legacy, virtual first, international, and designed to connect Rotarians, Rotaractors, climate practitioners, young professionals, and friends of Rotary around communities that want to work on climate action. That is nature-based solutions, resilience, climate education, engagement, and kind of like bringing the UN Conference of Climate Action to different places in order to understand that process. But the one principle is principle. And with this, I will end my intervention. We do not want to create programs for young people. We want to create solutions with young people, not only as beneficiaries, but as participants, youth as co-creators. Imagine thousands of actions around the world: mangroves restored, schools reducing waste, community monitoring water, neighborhoods planting trees, young entrepreneurs developing climate solutions. Individually, they might seem as small things, but they are connected, documented, measured, and replicated as they become, and they will become collective impact. So on this International Youth Day, my invitation is very simple. Let us stop asking young people only to attend conferences. Let us invite young people to design projects, to access resources, build partnerships, and lead solutions in different contexts, in common aspirations. And increasingly, we will work on common action, because a good life for all is not simply a negotiation. It is created together. So I wanted to thank Miro for the invitation to be with you. I wish I had been there in person, but you know, we're Rotarians. We also have our day jobs, and I have also 3 kids, and I have Rotaractors here that we need to work with, especially in this celebration. So I thank you, and I wish everybody a happy International Youth Day. So enjoy your activities there in Austria.
Thank you, Roberto. Thank you so much. As we get near closing, I want to issue a call to action for everybody that's here in person, for those watching online. I think there's three main areas that we need to focus on. One is partnerships, as our friend Conrad's doing. He's got the educational institutions across Europe, the work that we're doing in California, the work that we see here presently. These are all different people with different networks. We need to continue building SDG 17 in order to get to our other sustainable development objectives. Number two is resource mobilization. I like to say mobilizing the global billions, right? Wordplay, both people and money. So that's something we need to keep in mind. But also, instead of calling people out, let's call them in. And my challenge here for those that are watching online and for those youth that are here, like you right there, under 18, it's my question is, how can you contribute to a good life for all as you grow up to be an adult? So think about that. And how you can make those around you with less better off. So that way everybody's better off. And with that, I pass the mic to Nina.
Thank you. So for all those who patiently listened to the entire event, whether online or in person, thank you. You've been incredibly patient as we navigated many technical challenges and mishaps, which is normal.
Very special.
So I do hope that this day is not just about celebrating the International Youth Day, but it's also a chance for us to plant seeds around concrete demonstration and implementation of what this partnership can do together, and what kind of new projects we can actually bring to life, and what that actually means for youth empowerment, not just in dialogue, but also in concrete action. With that, I thank you all once again.
Three.